Good afternoon. Dear one, I wanted to reach out to you with all that is going on around this world, and is it to be a reminder that soon Jesus is coming. His coming draws nearer and nearer. And yet, how ready are we? How prepared are we? This afternoon, as I entered into prayer over the things that were happening in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, I began to ask the Lord. I know that there are things that are happening just because of the deception and the principalities over the world. But I also know that we are in a time where His judgments are falling upon His people. When I began to ask Him about these things, He began to speak to me. 2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people went to ask another question of about the church and where we are, and all I heard was, if my people. He's calling us to come and seek His face, to repent, to turn from our wicked ways and pray. He says He will hear from heaven and will forgive and heal our land. Our land needs a lot of healing. Dear one, it's serious. For He calls His people to come to Him and not to continue to walk as Israel walked in the days of Jeremiah. To understand the devices and the games we play and the distractions of our lives are as idols to Him. For anything that comes before Him is an idol. So many walking with the world through all that is going on as one with her, instead of bringing His kingdom that shatters all other kingdoms to the saving of lives. But truly the harvest is ripe and ready. And we are so caught up in the things of this world and our very own lives that we're missing it. Many content in the slumbering place that they are. Hearts not even moved by the things that are taking place around the world. I'm talking about the hearts of Christians, His people called by His name. This is a great hour we are living in. And in the midst of all the things that are taking place, it is an hour of rejoicing. For our King is coming. The one who has loved us so much, who gave His life and poured out His blood for us, is coming. Jesus said as He ascended into heaven, I will come again. And it's right around the corner. It is rapidly approaching, and all that is taking place around the world is evident of it. Dear one, now is the hour to come and seek His face. Now is the time to humble ourselves. Now is the time to come and sit, literally in ashes and sackcloth. A humbleness of heart before the King of Kings, the Creator of you and me. The one coming to rule and reign forever and ever and ever. We need to be prepared, dear one, for His coming. And we need to be dressed every day, ready and prepared for the spiritual warfare. We need to come together as a unified body in prayer. Our most powerful weapon. It is time to unify and not be separated. It is an hour to rejoice in the fact that your name is written down in the Lamb's Book of Life, and in that is great power to come against the enemy, the spiritual enemy, with our weapons of warfare that are against the spiritual foe. Because what can man do to us? Our names are written down in the Lamb's Book of Life. It is a time of prayer. It is a time for fasting. And it is a time of praise and worship unto our King. Great is his love for us that he calls and woos and does all that he can that his church would return to him. That she would be made ready and there would be healing upon the land. We would begin to make a difference in the things that are taking place. Instead of joining in with the others crying out with no hope, because Jesus is our only hope. Dear one, I love you. And I have to repeat what he's constantly repeating to me. And it is because we're not listening. We'd rather debate or even argue about it. And that time has to end. It is time to come before the King, humbled, with our hearts in our hands, for him to search our hearts and minds. We would be purged and made holy, set apart unto him, a bride, a mighty bride, standing in his glory, shattering all the darkness, pushing it back, that more and more souls will come to know Jesus and be saved before it is too late. For truly, his coming draws nearer and nearer. Time is almost out. I love you, dear one. I desire to see you at the throne, to meet you together as a unified force, praying for this world and holding back the darkness, fighting side by side, which is what Jesus has called us to do, and to reach those who are lost. I love you. I look forward to seeing you in heaven shortly. Be blessed in him. Have a good week. Be dressed and ready every day of your week for the spiritual warfares that are at hand. Be ready at a moment's notice to answer his cry to your heart to come and pray, because that is why we're here. It's above every job or anything else that we do in this life. It's to hear his voice. Is your ear tuned to only his voice? There is no other voice like his. I love you. Bye for now.